I say one of the biggest events I've ever done as a performer was, if you know who AKB48 is, I
Unfortunately.
was I was actually in their biggest concert at the time, dancing on stage with them. You know what I mean? So I was one of their dancers. So they went out and they're like, okay, we need all these dancers, and we like there was like a big boom. And a buddy of mine is a really famous DJ in Japan, so he hits me up and he's like, dude, I need you to come do this job. Like, this is going to be the job. You need to do this. And I'm like, all right, I'm there. Why not? I could use the job. And so it was the craziest thing ever because like I had all these Japanese dancers, but then they only picked 5 black dancers to be on stage to do this gig, and I was one of the 5. And they're like, okay, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be here, and they're like, Mike, you're center stage, so you're gonna be right in the middle in front of everybody doing this job. We rocked it, and funny story, uh, costuming. So I had a wardrobe malfunction on stage during this concert, and it was the funniest thing ever because whenever you do a gig in Japan, most of the times costume is going to be like, hey, we need your sizes, so you have to go and get measured and make sure everything is good to go, but they make you do that on your own. Sometimes they'll measure you, but most of the time it's on your own. And so I send in my sizes and I'm like, okay, these are 2 to T, these are my sizes, and they're like, okay, cool. So I'm like wearing this like funky temptation style suit, like red shirt with the velvet and all that, the Bruno Mars Silk Sonic thing, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I'm all funky and everything. I got my afro picked out, like I had a big afro at the time. And we're on stage, and then I remember like the costume lady, she was so nice. I actually felt bad for her, but she was like the sweetest lady ever. She's like, oh, hey, here's your costume, and she's like, how does it fit? And I'm like, it's a little tight in the thighs. And she's like, oh, well, can you manage with that? And I'm like, yeah, I'll make do. And she's like, please don't rip my costume. I'm like, I'll try not to. Like she just kept saying that to me. Like she'd be like walking down the hall and she'll see me, hey Mike, don't rip my costume. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try not to. Sorry, like I got you. Showtime. We're going out there. Me and my buddy were dancing. Tricky Troubles. He's a really famous Canadian breakdancer. Dude's legendary. And me and him were like partnered up. So we're like dancing and we're doing our stuff. We're breakdancing, and I'm a locker. I like doing locking and stuff. So I'm doing locking. And one of my biggest things about locking that I do, and you see it in my videos, I do splits. you know,
Oh no.
I do splits. So I did like these jumping splits where I'm jumping like 6 feet in the air and bam, like jumping up and slamming on the stage, and I'm sliding back up. And when I did it, it ripped my pants from my knee all the way up to my crotch. So I'm dancing in front of 60,000, 70, 80,000 people with a big hole in my pants and my crotch just all showing for the world to see. And so, we killed the show. Like it was great. Like it was like we rocked the house. So we come back, everybody's looking at me like, Mike, really? And I'm like, they're like, when did this happen? I'm like, right when we started dancing. Like, so I had to do the whole dance with like a big hole in my pants. I mean, it was a gaping hole. It was the most hilarious thing ever because the
I
steaming
hope
from
there's
my
footage. I hope there's epic footage of people in the
there,
front row just going, "Oh my god, his junk's out."
thank goodness my junk wasn't out. Oh my god, I'm so happy my junk wasn't out. But you can see my boxers and stuff. But it was the funniest thing ever because I mean, like, it was from my knee all the way up to literally where the zipper was. Like that whole inseam came out, just ripped open. And so, we go when we're backstage and we're like, okay, we did it, guys, we did it. We're taking pictures, casting pictures and stuff. Like, yeah, we did it. Blah blah blah. We're celebrating, having a drink or two, joking around, and then I go to the costume lane and I'm just like, I'm sorry. And she's just like laughing at me. Like she couldn't contain herself, but she's like beat red like my shirt and she's just dying. And she's just like, it's totally cool. It's fine. You're great. You're awesome. And I'm just like, so then like before we like gave the costumes back, I was like taking pictures where I'm all like posing, I'm all like, like showing off the whole it was the funniest thing ever. It was eventful.
Hey there, this is Wheelchair21, and thanks again for listening to one of Hero Club's clips, podcasts, or interviews here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, like, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our content, and check out our awesome website at hero-club.com. And to make sure you're up to date with everything else, follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you all next time.